Hello there! Today, we're going to break down the exact organic methods, the specific products, and the rotation schedule you need to put a shield around your plants. A simple, week-by-week playbook to turn your garden from a vulnerable target into an impenetrable fortress. First, you've got to understand why fall is such a critical battleground. It's not your imagination. The pest pressure is totally different now than it was in July. As summer fades, a lot of insects are at the peak of their life cycles, and their populations are exploding. Aphids, for example, can have a new generation in as little as a week, and they love the cooler weather. You're not just fighting one batch, you're fighting their kids and their grandkids. At the same time, pests like cabbage loopers, slugs, spider mites, and flea beetles are getting a second wind in the cooler, damp conditions of fall. They're aggressively feeding to store energy for winter. More importantly, they're looking for a safe place to lay their eggs. And that beautiful, rich soil you've worked so hard on? It's the perfect nursery for next spring's invaders. Pests like cutworms and Colorado potato beetles will overwinter in the soil, which means if you don't act now, you're guaranteeing problems next year. Think of it as a two-front war. You have to protect your current food from being eaten while also breaking the life cycle of future infestations. This is why a passive wait-and-see approach is doomed. We have to be proactive and strategic. The backbone of our cheat sheet is a powerful 4-part rotation of organic sprays. And rotation is everything. If you use the same spray over and over, pests can build up resistance, and your weapon becomes useless. By rotating these 4, we keep the pests guessing and our methods deadly effective. Here's the weekly game plan. Always spray late in the evening or on a cloudy day. This stops the sun from burning your plant's leaves, and most importantly, protects our pollinator friends like bees, which have already clocked out for the night. Week 1. Neem oil, our first and most versatile tool. Neem oil isn't a sledgehammer, it's a strategic weapon. When a pest like an aphid or spider mite eats it, neem messes with their hormones, kills their appetite, and stops them from growing and reproducing. It's a slow kill, but it works. The best part? Because it has to be eaten, it's mostly safe for beneficial insects like ladybugs that don't chew on your plants. Plus, it doubles as a fungicide, helping with stuff like powdery mildew, which is super common in the fall. Go for a cold-pressed, 100% pure neem oil to get the best results. Alright folks, here we are in week 2, and we're diving into spinosad. This is a natural substance made from a soil bacterium, and let me tell you, it's a total powerhouse against pests like caterpillars, thrips, and leaf miners. So, goodbye cabbage loopers. While neem works as a hormone disruptor, spinosad acts as a nerve toxin for insects. See why rotation is so brilliant? We're hitting the pests with completely different attacks. But just a heads up, spinosad can be harmful to bees while it's wet, which is another huge reason we only spray in the evening. By morning, it's dry and the risk is gone. Moving on to week 3, we bring in a specialist, Bacillus thuringiensis, or BT for short. This naturally occurring bacterium is lethal to one thing and one thing only: caterpillars. So, if you've got cabbage worms, hornworms, or any other kind of caterpillar munching on your kale and tomatoes, BT is your silver bullet. When a caterpillar eats a leaf treated with BT, the bacteria destroys their digestive system. And the best part? It's completely harmless to humans, pets, birds, and every other type of insect. Its targeted nature makes it one of the safest and most effective organic tools out there. Now folks, we've reached our final spray, pyrethrin, here in week 4. This is a broad-spectrum insecticide that comes from chrysanthemum flowers. I like to call this the last resort in our rotation. While it's organic, it's more powerful and can harm beneficial insects if you spray them directly, so you have to be careful. We use it to knock down a really heavy infestation that the other sprays are struggling with. And just like the others, only apply it in the evening to minimize any collateral damage. Now, you might be tempted to mix some of these to save time, but it's much more effective to stick to the weekly rotation. Mixing can sometimes reduce the effectiveness of each ingredient, so alternating is the smarter play. Spraying is reacting. Let's talk about getting ahead of the game. Honestly, the best way to control pests is to never let them get to your plants in the first place. Floating row covers. Think of this as a suit of armor for your garden. It's a super lightweight fabric that lets sunlight, water, and air through, but physically blocks bugs. This is your #1 defense against flea beetles, cabbage worms, and squash bugs. The trick is to put the cover on the moment you plant. If you wait until you see pests, you might just be trapping them inside with a feast. For stuff that doesn't need pollination, like lettuce and carrots, you can leave it on all season. For fruiting crops, just lift it for a few hours a day so the bees can do their thing. As a bonus, it also gives you a few degrees of frost protection, extending your harvest. Hand picking and pruning. This is honestly the most underrated and weirdly satisfying pest control method out there. Make it a daily ritual to check on your plants, especially under the leaves. If you see a hornworm, just pick it off. Spot a patch of squash bug eggs? Go ahead and scrape them off. It's instant, it works, and best of all, it's free. While you're at it, prune off any leaves that are super damaged. This reduces stress on the plant and gets rid of pest hangouts. Just remember, don't take off more than a third of the plant at once. Garden hygiene. A clean garden is a pest-resistant garden. When the season's over, make sure to get rid of all the dead plant debris. This stuff is basically a 5-star hotel for overwintering pests. Tilling the soil in the fall can also expose pests that are trying to spend the winter underground. And finally, don't forget to rotate your crops. Never plant the same family of plants, like tomatoes and potatoes, in the same spot year after year. This simple trick really breaks the life cycle of pests and diseases that are just waiting in the soil for their favorite meal. If this cheat sheet is already making you feel more confident, do me a quick favor and hit those like and subscribe buttons. We're building a community of empowered gardeners here, and every bit of support helps. Your garden is an ecosystem, and right now it's a little out of whack. It's time to recruit some allies and use biology to your advantage. Beneficial nematodes. Think of these as microscopic mercenaries for your soil. Beneficial nematodes are tiny organisms that actively hunt down and kill over 200 species of soil-dwelling pests, like cutworms, root maggots, and Japanese beetle grubs. Fall is one of the best times to apply them, since many pests are in their vulnerable larval stage in the soil. You just mix them with water and apply with a watering can in the evening. The nematodes find their hosts, release a bacteria that kills the pest in a day or two, and then reproduce to keep on fighting. They are totally safe for people, pets, and earthworms. Just keep the soil moist for a couple of weeks after you apply them to help them get established. Attracting natural predators. You have a standing army just waiting to be recruited. Birds, frogs, spiders, ladybugs, and hoverflies. You just need to give them a reason to stick around. This is a long-term strategy for a truly balanced garden. Plant flowers like Calendula barrage and Sweet Alyssum. These provide food that attracts beneficial insects whose babies will devour aphids. A simple bird bath will bring in birds that feast on caterpillars. A small pile of rocks can give shelter to predatory ground beetles. By creating a diverse habitat, you're inviting nature's own pest control service to work for you 24/7. The cool, crisp air of fall should be a time of celebration for gardeners, not a time of stress. It's when we finally get to enjoy the rewards of all our hard work. With this cheat sheet, you're taking back control. You're shifting from a defensive posture to an offensive, proactive strategy. You have the plan, a weekly spray rotation to keep pests weak and confused. You have the fortifications, physical barriers, and smart garden habits to deny them a foothold. And you have the allies, a biological army working in your soil and in the air to defend your harvest. This isn't about killing every single bug. It's about creating a healthy, balanced ecosystem where pests never get the upper hand. You've got the knowledge, you've got the tools. Now go protect that harvest. Thanks for stopping by, and please make sure to subscribe to the channel for more great gardening tips.